All right, welcome back. Welcome in. It's 2026. I am Anthony. He is Joe. What's up, buddy?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for tonight. And I'm ready for this year, man. I'm ready to get this year started. We're going to touch on this in a little bit, but I've already begun my motto for 2026. It's all about attack.
Ooh.
All about attack. I was telling you the other day on our first round for 26. It's all about attack. So, let's get into this. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to 2026. We are excited to be back for 26. Excited to have everybody. We really appreciate everybody's support. Welcome back in. We're going to do a little goals episode here where we hold ourselves and each other. I'm here to hold Joe accountable. Um,
Yeah, I
it's
gotta.
report card time again, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay the piper on this one. Let's say if my parents were looking at this report card, I might be grounded for a few weeks.
So we're here to hold ourselves accountable for last year's goals and set some goals for 2026. Before we get into that, we kind of want to touch a little bit on what's going on right now with Goff 215 and where we're at, what's coming up for the upcoming season. So I'm going to touch a little bit on kind of what we got going on with the website right now. We got our message board is up and live. We've got people joining that. We've got a few different conversations going on there. We had this, we've kind of talked about it in the past, this conversation on some text chat app that I can't remember the name of right now, but
Discord.
Discord or the other one that we had. But basically, we had a chat going on where we had people in there, and anytime you were going out and golfing and you wanted to get more people involved, or
Oh, for our WhatsApp chat.
yeah, WhatsApp chat, and you wanted to fill in a spot, you threw it in the group chat, and there was a group of people in there that could raise their hand and get involved, right? We want to broaden that group and bring more people in and expand this community. So we've done that on our message board. So we encourage everybody to get on, sign up for the message board. It's free to sign up and get involved in the chat and come out and golf with us. We want to meet everybody. We want to golf with everybody. We want to grow this group and expand our community. Um,
Absolutely.
on our website, we've also got merch up there, and we've got some new merch coming up. So keep an eye out for that. We got all of our podcasts listed up on there, and we also now have our YouTube channel up there, which we really got going kind of at the end of the year last year. But there are some videos going up there that are not podcasts, and there are some podcasts that are not YouTube videos. So get in
Yep.
there and see what we got going on.
Do me a favor and don't watch the quiz episode though, because things got a little out of hand.
That is a highly recommend for me. I would definitely watch that. Anyway, but that's what we have going on the website, and I'm gonna kick it to you, Joe, because I know you're excited about going over some things for this year.
Yeah, a couple other things too. So one last point on the website. So the delinquent Golf 215 inventory manager did recently purchase a little one of the little mini studio things to take like some better pictures for some of our inventory that we have on hand. So I'm going to be doing that over the next couple weeks. So keep an eye out for some new items and then just kind of better pictures of some of our existing items. So you'll see that come across. Um, I'm trying to think of how
Side
much.
critique: Jim McPhillips will. Jim, I got you on this one, Jim. Jim will be excited that you are taking new photos.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Um,
He may have made mention of that.
I'm trying to figure out how much information to divulge here about the stuff that we have coming up. So one thing I'll tell you a little bit about. So Anthony and I, one of the things we talked about last year is getting some kind of like fun competition event for the two of us. So we'll be rolling out over the next couple weeks, a little bit more details on what that's going to look like, maybe where it's going to be, what kind of format we're going to go with. So stay tuned for that because we have a couple neat ideas on how we're going to roll that out. We are
But that's a competition between the two of us.
just the two of us.
A
Yes.
little one-on-one
And
end of the golf season wrap up, right?
yeah, and as you'll see as I grade myself on my 2025 goals, um, some goals were worse than others. One of the ones I'll give you a little hint that I didn't do so well on is recording content. So I think doing a 1v1 scenario like this, the hope is maybe we can get a buddy or someone to come out and sneak out in the cart with us and actually get some actual good, dedicated content of this event. So hopefully we're able to piece something like that together. So again, stay tuned. Um, I know that everybody will be familiar. We're members in a pretty neat community of golf creators, right? So we've been expanding that our connections and the different creators, in this area and other areas. So we got something in the works with another set of creators. That's all I'm going to leave it there for now. But this one we're really excited about, and stay tuned there. And then lastly, and I'm being super vague on everything, so apologies. And then the last thing is we're going to reveal,
It's a real watch this space for more
yeah, yeah,
situation.
we're going to reveal details on our 2026 golf trip. So we're excited about that. We're ratcheting it down a little bit. We can't do a Pinehurst type trip every year, but we are really excited. We think we found a really nice trip to settle in for 2026, and we'll be sharing that with everybody pretty soon too. Anything
One
I
last
missed?
thing. Yeah, one last thing. We have our event,
Yes.
the Golf 215 event. We're going to bring that back. Last year it was called the TPC. Might be a little bit of a name change this year, so we get something with that we can call it every year.
Yeah.
But we'll be doing our own Golf 215 event again. So we had a lot
Great
of fun
turn.
with that. We had a good group out last year.
Yeah.
Excited to get everybody back out and grow that group. So
Yeah, and that's what's really cool about it, right? So the feedback that we got from everybody who was there, they loved it. When are we doing it again? Everybody liked the format. So we're tinkering with all different kinds of formats to see what works best, what people like the most, where the best like locations are to host it. Um, so I think one of the things that we learned last year was let's give you guys as much notice as we can, put out all the content. Here's what's going to be included in the package. So you're going to see all of that in advance this year. Because we really want to make this, we want to, take each event up another notch from the previous. So far we've done that, and like I said, it's been a blast. So we're hoping that this year takes it even another level.
let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. A lot of fun stuff coming. Super
Yep.
excited about this, right? Let's dive into these goals.
Are you sure you didn't just need me for the first part, and I can like just tail out of here and not take accountability for?
You can go, just so everyone knows out there. He can leave. I have all of his goals,
All
and
right, I
I've
might as
played
well
all year
stay.
with them, so we can just run down it really quick if you want.
Uh,
So, what you want me to go first? You want to go for? You want to hold yourself accountable first, or you want me to
you go
go?
first. I think I went first last year. Go ahead and go first.
You got it, bud. Let's do this. All right. So I'm just gonna move through these really quick. We'll see what we did. We put a little check next to the ones we did well and the ones we didn't do so well. But let's see. Okay, here it is here. First goal, no negative self-talk. Now, I want to do something a little different here. I know I can answer to this,
I
right?
was going to ask, do you want me to
But
grade
you
you?
know me, like I'm gonna beat myself up. I'm gonna be really hard on myself. So I'm gonna grade myself, but I'd like to get some feedback from you.
Hmm.
Um, for me, negative self-talk is like it's bad, right? It was bad going into 25, right? It was there was a time it was a little bit better, but 24 was pretty bad. And I think like changing of the equipment and not performing as well as I was, that really kind of led into that, right? So I really like I was trying to make it a focus. I'll say that I improved. I don't want to sit here and just check the box and be like, boom, I've got no negative self-talk. I'll say that I improved from 24 to 25. there were some times where I beat myself up and I'm probably a little bit too hard on myself, but for the most part I feel like I'm learning and I'm getting it under control. So that's going to be one that's kind of like a running goal, which is like constantly working on it. The more I focus on it, the better I'm getting at it. So in my opinion, I feel like I improved, but there's still a lot of room for improvement there.
So I was gonna grade you by saying this. And it's funny because we always set these goals, and then when we come back and look at them, we're like, yeah, that's kind of a tough goal. Saying no negative self-talk is like saying I'm gonna have no bogeys. Not
It's
realistic.
not that's not doable.
Not realistic. Um, but you killed it. I think you had an amazing year with, making sure that it wasn't a focal point. It wasn't something that impacted your rounds. And definitely would say that you passed that this year. Um, 90% of the time we're just, all right, that wasn't great. Let's move on. Next shot. So I would say, yeah, you put a check mark next to that one, buddy.
I appreciate that. That was something I really needed to focus a little bit better on. Greens and reg was my next one. All right, I wanted to get it up to 30%. Once again, we didn't do well here. Just like in 24, we didn't do too well.
Wait, isn't 30% greens and reg like insanely high?
6 to 7.
Yeah, but like even like with your handicap, that's pretty high, isn't it? What were you in the past?
I feel like it pushes me forward though, right? Like I didn't want to just try to be what my handicap was. I wanted to try
Gotcha.
and to be a few more above it. I'm, like right now I'm averaging about 2 to 3 greens in reg.
Okay.
So I'm trying to double that, right? Um we didn't do anything. We stayed static 20%. So we didn't lose any ground, which which I guess is a plus, but we didn't gain any ground either. So,
Hey, take it.
which is interesting because I think I was gaining ground in 24 um until the bottom dropped out in
Well,
24
I mean that makes
until
sense. Like
Glenn
you
Mills.
you you had so much you had not so much. You had a lot more room for improvement there, right? So like the wins are going to be more marginal the further you go along, right? So they're not going to be these massive, swings like they are like it is for me right now, right? Because I'm still, a couple years behind you in the progression. So I think that's
For
still a win.
sure. All right, read 2 books. We didn't do this, but we did finish the book that we were reading going into the year, and we did finish another book. So
Do you need a book recommendation for this year?
if you got one, I'm always open. The Wire.
I don't even know why I have this, but I do.
Oh man. I will say I knocked out 2 golf books. I finished Life Above Par. Shout out
Shout
Phil
out Phil.
Robinson. Um, and then read The Secret Home of Golf. I'm trying to remember the exact title, but The Secret Home of Golf, which is all about um, Sweden's Cove. So great read,
To be
fantastic read.
to be visited in the next couple of years by us,
Before 27, I feel like that's coming.
or at least in 27. I don't think that's. I don't know we're making it there this year, but 27 might be.
Could be a good road trip.
Hmm.
Never know. Never can say for sure. All right. So I wanted to average under 90 for my average score. Okay. A little background here. The end of 24, I was at a 91. I was averaging 91. So to start 25 off, I was at a 91. I just wanted to be under 90. You could put a check mark next to this one, bud. I'm at 89.
My man,
89. That's 2 whole strokes moved in a year. That's pretty good.
that's a huge accomplishment.
For sure. For sure. Now, the next one, 9 holes, 16 times. Now, you threw out when we brought this up last year, you said you wanted to do 13 because it's your favorite number, which we could have stuck with that, but knowing the two of us and knowing me pushing the issue, uh, we went to 16. We didn't even come close to 13. So
I was gonna say
yeah,
I have a number. I have a number on my sheet. I want to know what your number is.
what two? I think we did two times.
So we actually have four because
Okay.
there's two nines, but we also did two 12s. So we made it out. There was two times where we were out we were going to do nine, and we were able to sneak three more in.
Okay.
One was at Fox
Oh,
Hollow, one was at McCobie.
I was going to
Or
say Pinecrest.
yeah, that's right.
That
No,
ring
when
a bell.
that was last. The prior year was Pinecrest.
Okay.
But this and I'd have to go back and look, but I think it was Fox Hollow and McCobie. But we
All
have
right.
two nines and two 12s, so technically four.
Okay. All right. Four.
Yeah, so preview for one of my failed
Yeah.
goals too.
Same. Um, take a lesson. I, well, you don't know some of these things. I did not go to somebody specifically, like to a lesson, but I was
Oh, that's right.
working with a golf coach. I'm going to call him a golf coach. I don't
I'll
know if he
count it.
would consider himself that, but I would because he worked some magic with me. And I want to give a shout out to Mike Callahan for bringing my swing back because it was really trending in the wrong direction at the end of 24. And after some um, video analysis and some drills that he gave me, I am going to attribute some of the low scores and me dropping my average into the 80s to him. Um, I'll also attribute some other things here to some other people, I should say. Mike Bender, shout out Mike Bender. He has no idea, but I but I follow all of his stuff, and he's got some fantastic things that you can fantastic drills that you can use to work on. And then Jim Venetos. We've had him on the pod. He is he's got some fantastic content out there and he really simplifies the game. If there's anything that I can attribute to my game to him is he simplifies the game. And when you are playing golf and you've got a million things rattling around in your head, simplifying the swing helps tremendously. And so I will attribute a lot to him as well. So shout out Jim, shout out Mike Benner, and shout out Mike Callahan. Really appreciate you, Mike. Thanks, buddy.
Good
Um,
stuff.
so I'll give a half check for that.
I would give you the check. You know, you're doing the research, you're putting in the work. Um, but if you want to get a full out lesson, maybe that's the upgraded goal for this year, right? Get an actual formal lesson.
Could be. I like that. 100-hole hike.
I didn't hear
Um,
much about this after the
yeah,
pod.
yeah, and we won't hear a lot about it. Um, I didn't accomplish it. Here's what I'll say though. I just need to like get it organized and get it together, right? I,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem going and doing it. I didn't get myself organized enough to go and to accomplish this.
I think you
Um,
need an accountability partner too,
I
right?
was going to say, if anybody out there is interested in getting involved with this, would love some help and going out and doing the 100-hole hike with somebody or even a group of people.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants
I,
to get involved, you know what? I might throw something up on the chat room and see if anybody else wants to get involved.
I need to refamiliarize myself with exactly like what the parameters of it all are, but I would potentially be in depending on when, what time of the year and what schedules look like.
Sure. Love that. I have a goal. This is a joint goal. Like I threw it out there, but when I did that, we both agreed to it. You want me to hold on to that until the end? Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it. Why don't you go through yours? Um, and then we'll come back to this one.
Okay, wait, is this a 2026 or that's 2025
It's a
accountability?
2025
Okay, I
accountability.
think I think I have it last on my list too, so the one
Yeah.
we
So
talked
if you
about.
want to if you want to bring it up, it's for both of us. So
Okay.
all right.
Um, all right. So going through my list, my first goal is kind of similar to your first goal in the wording. Make good contact every shot. Absolutely not. However, I would say that I made much better contact in 2025 than I did in prior years. So I think that was just poorly worded, a poorly worded goal, but I think it was something that I mostly achieved, right? Of course, I had bad shots. I made bad contact. But, year over year, I was very happy with my the consistency of my contact, throughout each of my rounds. So I'm keeping it on the list for 2026, right? Because I think that's not something that you check and you're done, right? That needs to be a constant focal point, that you focus on each year. So I feel like I achieved what I wanted to do in 2025. I'd like to do it a little bit better in 2026. Still not going to hit every shot, but I want to focus on good contact, right? I might hit a bad shot, but if I made good contact, move on. That's all I can ask. You talked about the walking rounds. So I said 13, you said 16. We did four. Fail. Um, I wanted to play 600 holes. I knew that I failed this, but I was actually closer than I thought. In my head, I played less golf this year than I did last year. But last year we finished, I didn't have an exact count last year. I think I had either 508, somewhere between 508 and 520 in 2024. So I set the goal for this year at 600. I played 546. So not as bad as I thought. I would have guessed that I had lower. Um, so still room for improvement, but pretty decent. Break 100 4 to 5 times. So in 2024, I broke 100 once. I shot a 97. I'm pretty certain I definitely achieved this goal this year. I forgot to look and count. So I'm gonna go do that right now. But all right, let me find January. All right. So I shot a 91 at Burn. I'll count that because you got to be around, I'd say like 95, 96 to count it at Burn. 96 at Ravensclaw. 98 at Fox Hollow. 91 at Mainland. 92 at Maccoby. 92 at Mainland. 93 at Burn. Yeah, so there's 8. And for the record, I started this year with our non handicap round at Valley Brook with a 99. So that'll be for this year. But yeah, definitely accomplished that. So I feel real good about it. And not a broken 100, but I want to give myself a special shout out for my 101 at Pinehurst number 10 and my 105 at Pinehurst number 2. So I was thrilled with those.
For sure. For sure. And now I'm going to add this on top of that. You played exceptionally well in Pinehurst.
I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think it was a whole attitude for you, but you played exceptionally, even though the score was like you said 101, 104, right? Like
Yeah,
we throw score out, right? So it's our trips. Everything else was just fantastic. You definitely were punching above your belt. I loved it. Loved seeing it.
it was fun. And I think those go, kind of roll right into my next goal. So I had my goal last year, I was a 30 handicap at the end of the season. So started 2024. Thought I had it here. I think I was like a 34
Can I
at the
jump in
beginning.
on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote this down because I wanted to give you some props here. All right. You started 24 off a 33. I don't want to steal your
Yeah.
mojo here, but
I ended that year at a 30.9.
yep. And then
I ended this year at a 25, and I had a low point index of 24.6. I got down to 24.6 at one point.
so
So my
you
goal was 27. Definitely cruised right past it.
yeah,
So
I want to give a massive shout out to you, bro. Like huge props from the beginning of 24 to the end of 25, 2 years, you moved from a 33 down to a 25.
Well, spoiler alert, one of my next ones is take a lesson. Didn't do that. So yeah, I think it would be a lot more achievable had I been like taking lessons, getting out the practice and stuff like that. But like this is all just on course, self-correction, repetition. So it's coming a little slower than it could at my level, right? Um, moving 4, 5, 6 strokes at my level is a lot easier than at your level. But but yeah, I'm thrilled and hoping to continue the progress to a reasonable extent this coming year.
Yeah, fantastic job.
Thank you.
Before we get into some of these other goals where, we might cut you down a little to size, right? No, but in all serious, I mean, like you said, like you pointed, you didn't take a lesson, right?
Yeah.
But you do a great job of taking what you're learning every round and then applying it forward and not getting stuck in the same habits every time. Like it happens here or there, but you do a fantastic job of being like, I gotta remember, I gotta write this down. Don't
Yeah.
do this next time when I'm in that situation. And
And
but to go from a 33 to a 25 in 2 years, huge. So great job.
thank you. And for anyone who's in the same boat as me, right, where you can't or just won't, go out and get lessons or work on the parts of your game that need help. I easily have 7 or 8 different things that I need to work on. The way that I do not try to tackle them all at once, right? I'll pick one, what do I want to focus on? Like what's the one thing I want to do better? So last year was make better contact. Um, and just keep doing it, right? It's not a one round thing. Just keep getting out there every single time and just try to do that one thing better until you no longer need to think about doing that one thing better. Once you get to the point where you're no longer thinking about it, it's just happening, then you go on to the next one, right? Because the minute you try to do 2, 3, 4 things at one time, everything's gonna fall off the tracks. So for me at least, but so I'll throw that out there for anyone who's thinking about it. Talked about take the lesson, didn't do it. Record more content. Um, moving on. Play more play more solo runs. So yeah, we didn't record. I didn't record a lot of content. Um, I'm gonna jump kind of into my goal for 26 on this one. Again, I think it's a wording problem. I want to switch that goal for this year to record more passive slash background content. I've always been so focused on like recording the golf shots and the golf content. I think we'll serve ourselves a lot better if we get, a cart, a golf cart cam, stuff up. So let's start there. But definite fail for this year. I did not focus on content. I was more concerned about like keeping everything consistent, steady, stable to try to focus on the game a little bit. Um, Play more solo rounds. I failed at that. I didn't get out and play solo rounds. However, I did branch out a bit and play with some new folks, outside of our normal groups. So I think that was good, and I hope to parlay that into, some more rounds with those guys and bring them into the fold a little bit in 2026. So shout out to Coyle, Jeff Witt, and Scott. Got out a few times with those guys, had a ball. So would love to do it again this year and start to pull them out with us, when they're available.
Cool.
Um, Golf 215 sponsor a hole in a tournament. This should have happened last year. I had one identified. I just missed the deadline because I didn't know when it was. Um, I do know when it is now. So inexcusable if it doesn't happen this year. So I'll be making some phone calls to get our name on one of the holes this year. All right. So one more singular one, and then the joint one that we talked about. Do not buy more putters. I strategically placed my big chair and my big frame body because I don't know how well this is going to come across. I can't even get out.
Joe, I think those putters are blocking you.
Yeah, I can't really get out. Um, I purchased a putter, and then I bought 44 more. So one, two, three, four, 5 bags. Every club in these bags are putters. I purchased 45 putters in 2025. So
All right.
definite fail. However, if you need a putter,
You're gonna own that one. Definite
if you need a
fail.
putter, I know a guy.
Yeah. If you need a putter, call this number at the bottom of the screen.
I'm hoping that this plays into my 2026 goals. I obviously don't need 45 putters. Um,
You probably do well with like 44.
yeah, like listen, 20 I think is reasonable. Um, but yeah, so I have 10 new or near mint Scotty Camerons in there, if anyone's looking. One of which is left-handed, and 3 older Scotties that I'm going to try to probably refurb. So maybe if I get those pretty, I'll put those out. And then there's an array of other, all kinds of other stuff. Some really garbage, just like antique type putters that I'd probably sell for 10 to 20 bucks, and some new stuff. I got some pings in there. I got a left-handed ping. I got, some TaylorMades, some Odysseys, anything you can think of, probably have it. Um, I'll get
Every
into I'll
every
get into
brand?
that. Huh?
Every brand?
Not every brand. Oh no, I don't. See, and this is why I can't set this goal for
Mike,
2026.
Mike, if you're listening, he could use one other brand of putter
I
if
don't
you
have
want
a
to fit
lab.
him.
I don't have a lab putter yet. So
All
I,
right,
I
sorry,
wouldn't be
Joel.
surprised if you see one behind me at the end of next year. But yeah.
All right. So the last one's a joint one, right?
Yeah, I
Well,
think I
we
think we're on the
both are going
same
to answer for this.
I think we're on the same page. So last thing that we asked is, am I better now than I was this time last year? Define better however you might.
However you want, right? This is a self-assessment.
Yeah. And despite the fact that I failed, I think 7 out of my 10 goals, I'm actually saying yes. Um, I think my mindset is better. My handicap's obviously better, but like the biggest thing is I'm making more better contact. Um, and I feel better about where my game is and where it could potentially go. So I'm putting a check mark there and saying yes.
I'm doing the same thing. I am in a better spot now, and I'm pretty brutally honest with myself. If this was the end of 24, I would have said no. I'm trending in the wrong direction, but um, I feel like I'm in a better spot. I feel like I'm in a better spot mentally. I've gotten my negative self-talk under somewhat of a control. Although it does kind of feel like we're kind of like riding this line right now, like at any moment we could self-destruct and we could have that round of like we've gone off the rails. But
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 we
it's been
learned
it's
we
been
know
pretty
how to deal
good.
with it now.
We do. We've learned how to deal with it. Um, but but I feel like it's under control. So I feel like from a mental standpoint, I think that's under control and it's getting better. And then from a swing perspective, I'm constantly seeing improvement. I played some challenging courses at the end of the year and including Pinehurst number two, and uh, played really well at both. Um, so yeah, I think I'm in a better spot.
And that's a good point. Like year over year, we played a lot more difficult courses this year than we did the year prior. Because I mean, I know for myself, like in addition to the Pinehurst courses and Tobacco Road, I think I had 3 country clubs on there. Um, we had Schuylkill, we had North Hills, and I feel like there was one more. It's completely escaping me now. But we had some tougher courses than what we generally play.
Yeah.
Um, So it's, I mean,
You had
that's all well
Jayville
and
on there
good.
too.
We have what?
We played Jeffersonville too this past
Yeah.
year.
Well,
So
you had some real tough ones in there.
yeah, Aronimink. Yeah. What else are you thinking?
I don't know. But good stuff all in all.
Oh, Windcoat. I got out and played Windcoat one weekend.
I gotta get out there.
Yeah. But yes, I think the answer is yes. I think it's yes for both of us too. Not to step in on your
No,
parade
I
there.
would
I think
agree.
it's a complete yes for you. Like watching even um your what do I want to call it? Your slides. You'd used to have these like
Uh,
you come in hot, right? Like you come in
Yeah.
burning hot, right? Like that excitement, right? You're giddy. I'm golfing. Can't wait to get out. And at some point when the train goes off the tracks,
I
it's
think
like this
you'll
complete slide and you it's interesting to watch because like you'll always bring it back at the like towards the end, but to get there is like so hard to watch. And I'll say like you really did a good job of cleaning that up to where like maybe it's a hole or two,
yeah,
and it's like a quick come out of
it's
that
just a
bounce.
matter of like how many holes does it last, right? Is it one or two, or does it carry into four holes?
Well, it's like
Um,
what comes first. It's and that first thing is your attitude. As soon as you change your attitude back, you'll start to pull yourself out of it. And you have like I'll give you credit. Like you, I think you're in a better spot than you were.
I think a lot of it is confidence. So like I know like I'm very honest about like where I am with my game. I know where I am with my game. But in playing so many extra rounds over the past couple years, I've also seen it's like the Pinecrest effect that we talked about from that one round 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I've seen that you can have a couple bad holes, even if it's in the first, 4 or 5 holes, and still pull out of it, right? So don't stress it, don't sweat. And I think you'll see just like my average metrics that I'll get into in my 2026 goals, you'll see that in addition to having a better handicap, the overall, distribution of my scores was significantly better.
For sure. And it's only going to get better this year.
Yeah, man.
I'll let you start. Why don't you
All right.
start on goals?
Um, I'm gonna breeze through some of these because we talked about them in the front. Make good contact on every shot. Talked about it. The goal is just to continue, right? Like I know at work, when I do a performance appraisal at work or when I'm reviewing, someone who works for me, I always think of um, start, stop, continue. What are the habits I want to start doing? What are the habits I want to stop doing? What are the habits I want to continue doing? This falls in the continue bucket. So rerun it, rack it back up. Let's run it back. Next thing I want to talk about is so this year, I don't know if they've had it in the past. It's the first year that I noticed it and I love it. So for anyone who has Spotify and always looks forward to Spotify Unwrapped, the Gin app rolled something similar out this year called the Gin Rewind. So gives you like all of your kind of metrics and like snapshots and dashboards for the year, and it was incredible. Um, one of the things that it gave is a scoring distribution, right? So over an average of 18 holes, it breaks out how many holes you are generally likely to birdie, par, bogey, double, or triple or worse. Now, caveat, these numbers I'm about to throw at you don't equal 18 because they just round everything up, right? So looking at it, it adds up to 24. But distribution wise, um, I have 0 birdies per round. Now, that doesn't mean I never birdie. It just means my average overall is 0. And I'll get to that in a minute. I averaged 3 pars per round or 13%. So I think I think it rounded that up. So it's probably 2 point something. 7 bogeys, which is 29%. 10 doubles, which is 42, and then 4 triples or worse. So, which is 17%. When I initially looked at that and wanted to say, like, what are my goals for this year? My first thought is, oh, I want to average 1 birdie per round. That's one, probably not realistic for me to jump to from where I am right now. And two, that's the wrong end to be focusing on improvement. So my goals for 2026 is to stay at 0 for birdies, Um, I'm gonna stay at 3 for pars, but I'm bumping it up to like 16, 17%. So it's like actually 3 pars per round. So there would still, even though it's 3 to 3, it would be improvement there because I'm building this out to equal 18 on my end. Um, I want to bring my bogeys up, which seems weird, but I want to take my bogeys from 7 to 8. So that's about 44%. Um, I want to bring my doubles down. So from 42% to about 33. So I want to average about 6 doubles per round. And then I want to keep my triples or worse to 1 or less, obviously, per round, or 6%. So 1 triple or worse, 6 doubles, and the rest, and about eight bogeys. And everything beyond that is gravy. So those are my kind of statistical goals for this year. Last year I was trying to get, 4 to 5 rounds under 100. This year I want to average under 100 for the year. So I thought it was going to be a really tall task. I didn't know what my average was until I went and was putting this together and looking. I got 2 different numbers. So when I look at, I think it's my handicap number and then like the overall rounds. So my handicap number, the average is 101.8. But then when you look at all my rounds for the year, it was 102.1. So it's not um, a huge difference, right? So pretty close there. But looking at my year, my high round for the year was a 109, and my low was 91. So I went from a year and a half, 2 years ago, it's probably averaging 109 to that was my high this year. So I will take that win. I know it sounds pretty high for a lot of you guys that might be listening, but for me, where I was to where I am, loving it. And then in the same vein, I want to take my handicap from a 25 to a 22. This one's lofty. I'm aware of that, but I'm going to shoot for it.
Why have a goal if you're not going to put it out in front of you, right?
Right, right. Um, I talked about, so I'm changing my recording goal. So instead of recording more content, I want to record more passive background content. Like I said before, I'm updating my taking a lesson goal. Maybe I'll hold myself a little bit more accountable to this. I want to take a lesson with my kids. I want to get them out to play. And even if it's just a lesson for them, right? And I'm looking over the shoulder and stealing the notes. Because it's more important to me that I get them out for a lesson than I get myself. So I want to get whichever of the 3 of them will agree to it. I'm not going to force them, but if I can get all 3, amazing. If I can get 2 of them, 1 of them, whatever. But I want to take the kids out for a lesson.
I'd like to throw my hat in the ring here.
Yeah,
I'd like to record this.
absolutely.
Okay.
Love that.
I'm adding that to the goal.
I talked about the little purchase that I made of the little kind of like studio shell for pictures. So one of my goals, I want to do a better job this year of updating and marketing Golf 215 apparel and accessories. So I want to do better at that this year. Looking at all the stuff behind me, and all the stuff that's in my basement that you're not currently seeing, which includes, in addition to all these clubs, it includes 17 golf bags, all kinds of irons, head covers, balls, ball markers, hats, towels, banners, tees, you name it. I have tons. So please hit me up if you need anything. But my goal, sell at least 50% of all of that golf inventory and use that as a stepping stone to market a lot of our Golf 215 stuff. Because all the stuff that I just rattled off has nothing to do with our Golf 215 stuff. In addition to all that, we have our Golf 215 magnetic towels, our silicone cigar band magnets. We have our divot tools, our hat clip ball markers, koozies. We're probably missing stuff, but we have so much stuff that I want to get out there and start the market. Last thing, so also in the mix of all the stuff that I have in the basement are iron heads, shafts, grips. And for Christmas, My entire Christmas list was supplies to start to build golf sets. So I want to start to build some irons. I want to tinker with some stuff. But my goal, and this means like getting through all the trial and error, mistakes, whatever. I want to build one fully customized set of irons for this year. New heads, new ferrules, new shafts, new grips, everything. Um, so that's the last goal for this year.
Okay.
A lot of work.
Love that. A lot of work, dude. That's a lot of work right there, but I
Uh,
love it. I love it. Okay. Here we go. So I'm gonna put this back on the list, and I feel like I need you to join me. I feel like this is a golf 2-1-5-1, which is, am I in a better place now? Or
I have it on there. I was just gonna wait till the end.
yep. Okay, cool. Putting that
I
on.
think that's a perennial. That's on every year.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm putting a 100-hole hike back on this list. I'm gonna be committed to this thing. Okay. Um, so that's back on my list. I want to walk 9 holes weekly. Okay. I've got 16 times on here, but I was trying to word this in a way that I don't know if I want to put a number to it. I just want to make it achievable, right? Like, and I want to get back out there and doing 9 holes every week again, right?
Now,
We were really good at that before. I want to get back to that.
I would put a caveat out there. You should probably set a start and end point, right? We're not doing it now, right? So maybe it's a spring to fall or spring to summer, whatever it might be. But yeah, I think that makes sense. I didn't put it on there just because I have a couple things in flux right now, right? So I may be in a position where I'm going back into an office instead of working remote like I was. I also don't know what the kid's schedule is right now. It's Mondays and Fridays, but that's going to get more as they all get back into spring soccer. So I could be looking at 3 or 4 nights a week of practices.
All right. If anybody else wants to join that group too, come on in, right? Like I'm gonna get out there. Whoever's in is in. Um, my next is to improve on negative self-talk. That's how I'm gonna put it for this year, right? This is a continue, right? What'd you say? Stop,
Yep. Stop, start,
start,
continue.
stop, continue, right? This is a continue. Continue to improve on negative self-talk. I threw on greens and regs to 30%. I need to get to that. That's going to
Just
happen.
keep plugging. Yeah.
Keep plugging. Hopefully, I can report some sort of improvement from 20% this upcoming year. Um, I have on here break 80. I know it's
Ooh.
lofty. I know I'm knocking on the door. It's coming. It's coming, right? So I just need to keep up with it. And
You,
I think continuing to improve on my swing and continue to improve on negative self-talk, I'm going to get there. All right.
I almost put break 90, but I don't want to fly too close to the sun.
So I have something else on here it's a goal, but there's not really a tangible number to this thing, right? You and I have this one-on-one match at the end of the year, right? We
Yep.
are the match, right? Um, in preparation for that, I want to play in as many matches as possible. So I'm throwing the gauntlet down to everybody out there.
Ooh.
If you want to just come out and play some matches, I'm here for it. Let's go have some fun. We could play some one-on-one matches. We could do some two-on-two matches. I'm here for match play all year. Hit me up. I'm ready to play. Right? It's the only way I'm
I'm
gonna be
gonna
able to
say,
improve it and be able to take on Joe because I know this is going to be a tall task by the end of this year to take him on.
I'm gonna say that you should have a weekly sign up sheet, right?
Okay?
And send it out to all of our friends. I will help with the accountability by calling out all the people that I expect to sign up that haven't signed up for a slot. So I know a couple folks right off the rip that will sign up without a doubt. You're going to get your match against Jim McPhillips. He's not afraid. He'll come out. He'll come out and do it. Um,
I
Tony
feel like he's
Burns will,
itching for that one right now.
yeah, Tony Burns will do it. But I'm going to be calling out the folks that I expect to come out and give you a 1v1 that aren't signing up.
Love it. Yep. Hit me up. I'm ready. I'm ready. I know shout out Shane Hafer. He does matches over at Turtle Creek. Um
We got to get out and play with Shane too this year.
yeah, I'm gonna be reaching out to him. I gotta get into one of those matches.
Yeah.
Um so the last thing I have written down here is commitment. Okay. I told you the other day, this is the year of attack for me. I want to attack every swing. I want to commit to every swing. I have a tendency of wanting to place my ball, if you will, right? Like I want to hit the ball and place it somewhere instead of just swinging through and allowing the club to do the work and the ball to go where it's going to go. Um, which I feel like has I have a tendency to come up short or miss my target because of that. But when I have committed to the shot and have attacked the shot, the ball goes where I need it to go, right? Or at least consistently it's where I need it to be at. So this is the year of attack for me. That's where I'm at.
I love it. And the one other thing that we talked about when you were telling me this about this, a few rounds ago, um, not second guessing yourself, right? So
Yeah.
you're using the gun now. You're shooting the distance. You know your distances, right? So you're getting up there. You're shooting a distance. You're getting your slope. You're applying any adjustments that need to be made for wind, temperature, you know, how tired you are or aren't. Um, After you do all those calculations, stick with it. Don't get up to the ball and second guess and be like, "Ooh, do I need to back off this and only put 80% of the swing in?" No. Commit to your commit to your read and see what happens and adjust afterwards if you need to, right? If you did too much, that adjustment can be made on the next hole or the next time you're in that similar situation. But once you make that decision, that's a decision. Stick with it, execute, move on.
I feel like this is going to be similar to the negative self-talk goal from
Hmm.
last year, right? Like
It's more mental.
right, and it's not going to be as simple as like checking the box, right? Because I'm not going to do it on every swing. There's still going to be times that I don't do it.
Right.
It's just going to be a work on, right? And
Hmm.
can I sit here next year and go, yeah, I've gotten better at it. That's the
Yeah.
idea behind that one.
And just to draw it out for anyone who hasn't picked up on it, like the attack verb that you're using doesn't mean you're going to go wild and like rip every shot and like try to crush every. That's not what attack means in this instance, right? You
It
just
means ham. I'm going ham this year, buddy.
so
Look that up if you don't know what that
yeah,
means.
don't misconstrue like, oh,
Yeah,
he's just
don't
gonna
miss.
go, he's just getting after it at all times. No, it's a very tactical getting after it.
I think the word is or the two things to use for attack is um uh, uh, don't doubt yourself, right? Don't second guess yourself, you said.
Hmm.
And the other one is commit. Commit
Yep.
to what your thought was, right? So whatever that thought was, your swing thought, you had it for a reason. Walk in and commit to it. So commitment and don't second guess yourself.
It's just like a good relationship with your partner, right? Trust and commitment. Go into each swing with trust and commitment.
Love it.
Dance with the girl you brought.
That, right, dude?
Shout out Fat Perez,
Yeah, love that.
who's like probably skinnier than me at this point.
That sounds like a match we got to get set up.
I'd love that. He would demolish me, but it'd be fun.
You're getting strokes. That's all you need.
A lot.
All right. Let's you got anything else?
I'm tired, man. That was a lot.
I
I
gotta get off this thing and go. I need
I
to
gotta
start
start
attacking
work.
my list, bro.
I'm gonna send you a couple photos too. Hopefully we can insert the photo from the Gin Rewind to make a little bit more sense,
Yeah,
for anyone who's listening.
I've got those rewinds ready to go. So
Good deal.
I'll outline us on Instagram.
Do you have mine already?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Um, I guess lastly, if you're still listening to this podcast, appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got our playlist out there. Um, just kind of I was looking back at it and to like we literally started this list in 24 with three guests. And at this point we're like up over 30 some albums.
That's
So
amazing.
love to see it. The playlist is all over the place and it has taken turns that Joe and I have talked about all year, like that we didn't expect it to take, right? Like we would be thinking like, we're interviewing somebody, and at the end they're talking about their album, and before they say it, we're like, we know where they're going with this one. And when we thought they would zig, they would zag. And this playlist is really growing, like a little bit wild right now, but on a golf course or even driving in the car. I think it's actually turning into a great driving in the car
I,
playlist.
I was
It's
just going to say,
fantastic.
if you're driving across country, we got you covered because this thing is 40 hours and 8 minutes long right now.
Yeah, fantastic list. So thank you to everybody
So,
that
so
gave
the
us an
question is,
album.
do we keep the same question for this year? Do we switch it up at all?
So I think we keep the question. I think we're going to add to this question. We're talking about, and I don't give any spoilers away, but we're talking about building out another list. And I think that we're going to have two questions now for the guests.
We'll give everybody a heads up in advance so it's not putting you on the spot.
For sure. For sure. But I
But
like
I'm
I
excited
like this
about
other
this
list
year.
idea that Joe worked up. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm excited for the whole year. Like we teased at the beginning, some of the things we have in the works. Um, we rolled out one of the other things we didn't talk about. We rolled out a new kind of like mini series that we're doing, the Answer the Internet, right? So you'll start to see a couple episodes like that. Like that'll be a periodic thing, maybe 3-4 times a year, depending on how many times we feel like we have kind of questions gathering in the pot. But in our very first one that we did, we threw out a couple potential challenge options for myself and you, right? So we might have to go back to that episode, pull a couple of those, and maybe get out, especially before handicap season starts. Get out and see if we can knock one or two of those off. Maybe I take my 5 iron out and see what I can do on the course with just a five.
Love it. Maybe bring one of those 44 putters out.
Well, if I'm only using my 5 irons, does that mean I can bring 13 putters?
For real. Um, no, I was thinking of the one that was like, oh no, I'm thinking of something. No, forget it. I was thinking of like
That's
the
good.
belly putter one.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, me too. I'm excited for this year. A lot of fun stuff on deck.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Anything else?
No. Thanks all for sticking with us. Happy New Year. And looking forward to a good 2026.
Yeah, same. Hit us up on Instagram. We want to know some of your goals.
Yeah.
Did you accomplish your goals for 25?
Maybe
Hit
we
us up
do a
and
rewrite.
let
Like,
us know your 26 goals.
yeah, you have any good ones, we might rewrite it and add it to our list. All
Awesome. Let's get out of here.
right, but
See everybody.
thanks.
Later.